truth about body recomp, especially if you want to make some real ass gains. So, for those who are not fully sure of how body recomp works, body recomp is usually recommended for beginners, or especially if they have higher body fat, because what it allows them to do is that basically it gives them the best of both worlds, to lose fat and to gain muscle at the same time, which sounds amazing, right? But so what's the catch? Like, what's the issue with this? Why shouldn't they do it? So basically, the first thing is that it's not as motivating to see because the process is very slow. It takes months to even see any proper changes, and that is if you're a beginner. If you're advanced, or if you've been lifting for a bit, a few years now, the changes are even going to be much slower. Second of all, which is more important, or like, to be honest, is the biggest downside, is that you're not optimizing your newbie gains. You miss out on some fast gains that you could have potentially made if you are on a slight lean bulk instead. Like a 200 calorie surplus would have made a huge difference to your physique compared to if you main gained. And the third is kind of similar to the first point, but there's no clear end goal. Maybe if you think of something big like losing fat while getting stronger and gaining more muscle, but what is the exact body fat you want to get down to? What is the exact amount of weight you want to be in? You wouldn't know until you reach that point, and that's going to take maybe 1-2 years to even get to closer 70% there, and that's if you do everything right. So what can you do instead? Like, if body recomp is not recommended or it's not ideal for muscle growth, if you really want to lose fat and gain muscle, right, chances are you are fat or at least skinny fat. So this means that your body fat is around 20%, or if you're fatter, it's higher than 25%. So what you need to focus on is on a slow cut, 200 to 300 calorie deficit per day. This is especially if you're higher body fat, right? And this higher body fat will give you some leeway in terms of newbie gains. I know in the previous video I mentioned how you should not go on a cut because it will affect newbie gains, but like I mentioned here, higher body fats is like they wouldn't see the downside as much. They can still make plenty of newbie gains even if they are going on a slight cut. But for those who are like 20% or slightly lower than that and skinny fat, I recommend to go on a slight surplus for a year, like 200 to 300. So what is the benefits to a slow cuts over body recomp? The first is you can still lose fat while building muscle, and you do it faster and more efficiently too. So it's more motivating to see yourself leaner and get stronger over the months. And I mean, same as the third point. The second one is that you have a clear goal to lose weight. Since it's a slow cut, you do not obsess over how much fat you need to lose on a week-to-week basis, which are the downsides of fast cuts, because you become too obsessed on this number on the scale, which is not good for you. Slow cuts are supposed to be very slow. They're going to take a long time to see visible difference in your physique, but at the same time you get there faster than body recomp, and you still make some gains. So basically you will look leaner at the end of the first year while making more or less the same gains as if you were in a body recomp. But in the body recomp's case, maybe if you start at 30% body fat, let's say you get down to 20% and you look about you gain about the same muscle mass. It's a slow cut, but in terms of slow cut, maybe you get from 30% to 15% body fat, or maybe even leaner. So basically the takeaway is that body recomp may sound nice and may work for non-serious gym goers, but chances are, if you want to make a real noticeable gains and you are obsessed to see your body grow while still not getting fat and instead looking leaner, if you're 25% and you want to get on 12% over the course of a year, you need to focus on a slow 200 to 300 calorie deficit per day for the whole year. Obviously, I think if you start getting satisfied with how lean you look already, or you feel like your progress is stalling or slowing down in the gym, which will happen probably past the first half of the year, then you can like go into maintenance and start going to a lean bulk if you're really happy with how you look. But if you want to stick with a full-on lean or maybe even close to shredded, which I wouldn't recommend, but at least if you want to get down to 10% body fat, then stick with a lean cut throughout, maybe until the first 9-10 months. Then yeah. So in this way, you can optimize your new gains without affecting it too much, while also getting leaner and meeting your goals. So yeah, best of luck to you guys.